Good morning, folks. How are we all doing? I have been on the road for approximately 5 hours or so, probably 4 hours actually, with about 40 minutes to go. I'm heading from the Marromeu Nature Reserve and heading to Mpingwe Lodges, I believe that's how it's called, with the infamous Ant White, Zimbabwean, who I found out is very good friends with my uncle. So it'll be good to get some dirt on my uncle and good to catch up with him as well. So yeah, last night was pretty fun actually. Not too crazy, but we got onto the Mozambican moonshine, a local rum distilled somewhere in the bush, which was quite nice, and then we sat down and had a tuna bolognese dinner, which was very pleasant. But yeah, good to chat to the two guys. There's two guys working there at the moment, well, two people in charge at the moment. One is Rob the builder and the other is Darren. He is a pilot for the Frankfurt Zoological Society, but he's helping set up this new camp. It's only a recent partnership. It's come through and they've only had boots on the ground, I believe, since May. There's quite a few logistical issues to try and get materials down into the camp. You know, with the rainy season, it was all black cotton mud, so you know, very difficult once it gets wet, very difficult to get in, and a 2-hour trip in the dry season, which it kind of roughly took me to do the 40 k's out of Marromeu town to get out there. It took roughly about 2 hours. In the wet season it can be anywhere between 6 to 9, and that's with a tractor trying to pull trailers and stuff like that. So very difficult to try and get materials in. They were cleaning up, they've got a little river, one of the arteries into the Zambezi, that they're trying to clean up a little bit, to potentially bring materials down the Zambezi and then into the camp. Yeah, so they're trying to clean out the river. There's a lot of water hyacinths, I believe it's called, in the water. But yeah, no, it seems like a pretty cool project. Yeah, very cool little project that they've got going on, but pretty much starting from scratch. It does look like there's some existing buildings there back in the day sometime, but pretty much just concrete slabs that are left, so they're pretty much having to build everything from scratch. One of the big projects, or the idea I think behind the camp is, as I said in yesterday's video, would be boating safaris, and then also probably helicopter safaris to try and get to cover the whole delta. I did hear that someone had canoed down the Zambezi and pulled in there, but I think, yeah, it could be the end destination for some of those kind of trips. But then they've also got a hunting concession quite close to that, which has helicopters, so they might be able to use those or lease those or rent those to do the sightseeing side of things. But by the sounds of it, it's going to be more a river and a boating safari and a helicopter safari type thing. There was a road that kept going down, but kind of chatting to Darren, he was saying that the river, they had a bridge over the river, but the river changed course, and the bridge that they have is now obsolete, and they've got a couple of palm trees that they've laid down over the river so people can walk across, but they said would not manage a vehicle, and it would pretty much be a motorbike or a bicycle kind of crossing for that, you know. So yeah, very, as I say, very new, very unestablished. They said they've got an elephant and buffalo for sure, and then they are just about to do a social economic study in the area to see what people are doing to make a living and how they can contribute to that. One of the big issues that they're facing is that, you know, I think with most parks, is the wildlife-human conflict. But some of the guys are moving into the reserve, so that's where that conflict is getting stronger. So they're going to try and work out how to keep the divide, keep the peace between the animals and the locals, and that means kind of trying to create a sustainable revenue, so they're not having to move into the park to get resources or fertile lands or anything like that. So loads of work to do. They did say that they're open. Accommodation is very basic. There's just tents at the moment. They do have hot water, they do have power through a solar system. They did have a couple of Starlinks, so there was internet. But they're bringing in these, I'd like to say, container style prefab houses that are a bit of a plug and play model, similar to what they've been using. Oh shit! Yeah. That's the problem with these roads, is you get excited and you think you're doing well, and then all of a sudden you're not doing so well, and there's a big pothole. So that's why I'm looking at the road a lot more than I'm looking at the camera at the moment. But because if you hit one of these at speed, you're going to have a shock absorber through your bonnet. So yeah, no, I'm very chuffed. I decided to go out there. A little bit gutted because he did offer a flight over the Delta, but unfortunately I've got that meeting, or not meeting, but I've got that appointment up in Tet, and they were away today. They had to fly up to town to do some inventory to bring some of the stuff back down to the lodges. So a little bit gutted about that, but hopefully I can come back in a couple months or a couple years and see where they're at and do the full thing. So, but I got it. First guy in there, first guy to drive in and drive out again. So that's claim to fame right there. But yeah, great day. I was going to say I'm going to put this on YouTube rather than put it on Instagram, because Instagram does not like longer videos longer than 3 minutes, so I'll probably end up putting it there. But okay guys, that's the update for that. As I say, I'm off to Mpingwe now, and then tomorrow morning I will be heading out to Tet for my appointment to get the roof fixed, and hopefully a bit of a recharge station, so fill the cooler box or fill the fridge in the back, get some snacks and all that sort of stuff. Need some biltong, desperate for some biltong, so we'll stock up on that as well. And then from there I'm off to Malawi. So yeah, catch you then guys, bye.